What's going on? This is Alan Brown, aka Bully the Kid, and today I have an EHB 1506MS 6-string multi-scale headless Ibanez bass with a ramp installed, Nordstrom pickups, 3-band EQ with a mid-frequency switch, a active and passive switch. Very beautiful design. But let's go ahead and get into that right after this. Kick that intro. Alright, so you've seen my unboxing video, so you already know some of the things that I really like about this bass. There are a few things that I'm just kind of like, meh. One of the things that I'm kind of like, meh, is this cover piece, this burl that's up here is very thin and it's very soft. So if you have anything that scratches it, it dents in very easily. It's kind of like, man, I'd much rather a protected piece of wood on here, but it is pretty and it does the job of what it's supposed to look like. The back pieces are very sturdy. They look very good. They're very satin. The neck profile itself is very thin, just like any Ibanez multi-scale bass would be, or really any Ibanez bass for the most part. They're all pretty thin necks and stuff. There aren't any chunky Ibanez necks that I am aware of. But this is very thin, and for it being a 6-string, it's not as beastly as you would think it would be, because, you know, some 6-strings are a lot to handle and stuff. The spacing on it is kind of narrow, but it's not narrow enough to like impede you from actually playing it as a gigging bass. It's narrow enough that you can't just slap it ridiculously, but you know, if that's not your game, then it's not gonna affect you. It's not quite as narrow as a 506. It's a little bit wider than that. I would give it 18 millimeters. I don't have a tool to measure from piece to piece here. I just don't have one. But if I had to give it a measurement, I'd give it 18, because I think 16 and a half or 17 is the Sterling, and this is a little bit the Sterling Music Man Stingray 4, or the Sub Stingray 4, the one I have back there. It's wider than that, but not much. Like, it's more manageable, but not by much. So that's kind of negligible. The things that I do like, this is a very, very fast satin neck. The whole bass itself is extremely light. The whole thing is very thin, with the exception of this top wood piece. Very solid bass, but this top piece here, this cover wood here, is very soft, so it dents very easily. And it's not a bad thing, it's just not a good thing. There is a truss rod adjustment that is at the base of the neck that I did not have to work with. Only thing I had to do was adjust the saddle height here, play with that a little bit to get the feeling there. I ended up changing out the strings immediately, because the strings that came with it, the E string, ended up ended up breaking prematurely. So I restrung it to get more tension on the string so I can tune it up, and then it just kept on shearing down lower and lower. So I was like, you know what, I'll just replace all of them. And I went with Aurora strings, the 6-string flavor, and I feel like the red does a little something for this look here. I feel like it does a little something, you know. I feel like it adds a little little something to it. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into what this thing sounds like. I'm actually going to be playing this between both pickups, Nordstrom pickups. Everything's going to be flat for the very beginning piece of this. And I'll have the mid-frequency sweep rolled backwards. Kind of makes me wonder if I should start passive and see if there's any variation, like tonal variation within it, and then go to active and then do that. So let's do that first. So active, or let's go passive first. Okay, so it looks like the treble that's in active mode is the tone for passive mode. Let's go to the back pickup now. So yeah, let's go to the front pickup now. Okay, let's go back to the back pickup and do something. Let's do the exact same thing on the back pickup. Front pickup. Okay. Let's go to active mode now. Between both pickups, should be the same type of balance. The mid-frequency sweep wasn't involved in the passive mode, so we'll get a little taste of that first. Everything is balanced. Everything is on 0. I have the mid-frequency sweep rolled backwards. And on this, just in case you didn't know what the controls are, it is volume, blend, treble, bass, mid, boost, cut, and mid frequency sweep. So it's a little bit different than what I'm used to as far as these two positions, but kind of makes sense in the grand scheme of things. I'm not really going to be messing with these stack knobs, more or less these stack knobs. So again, volume, blend, treble, bass, mid frequency sweep, and then this is the active passive switch. Down for me is active. So let's get into that. And the mid frequency sweep is towards the back. I don't know what that hertz range is, but that's where it is. So at this point, I have a preset on this amp that I have back here that I'm using, and I think it's set to Ampeg SVT rig. So I'm gonna put it on a more neutral setting so you can hear exactly how it sounds like if I was plugged directly into the interface. So that's gonna be the next little piece you see. Okay, so I have it set up to my YouTube setting, which is basically a basic interface setup. Everything is flat on the amp, so it's basically me plugging this bass into an interface, and what you hear is what you're going to get before you put it into any amplification or any type of signal processing system. So this is what we got. Okay, at this point, let's go to the bridge pickup with the mid frequency sweep towards the back, and let's go bridge pickup, volume all the way up. Here we go. Okay, let's take the mid frequency sweep and roll it all the way forward. Let's go mid all the way up with the mid frequency sweep all the way back. See what we got? Okay. Let's roll that all the way to the front. Okay, take mid all the way, let's put mid back in the center. Let's boost up treble, see what we got. Let's take treble all the way out. Okay, treble is back in the center. Let's boost bass all the way up. Now mid-frequency sweep is all the way forward. Let's go front pickup now. Try to run through the same settings. Mid-frequency sweep is towards the back. The bass is center. The treble is centered. We're on the front pickup. Volume's all the way up. Here we go. Let's take the mid-frequency sweep and bring it all the way forward that way. Bring it back. Let's take the mid and then boost that one up. Here we go. Okay, so let's take treble. Let's boost that one up now. Okay, take treble all the way out. Okay. Put treble back in the center. Let's boost bass all the way up. Let's take bass back to center. Treble is back at center. Mid is back at center. Mid frequency is rolled back. This is what we got. It's rolled all the way forward. This is what we got. Okay, between both pickups now, this is what we got. Okay, now slap. So I'll set it up for super scoop. So bass all the way up, treble all the way up, mid all the way down, and I'll play with the position of the mid frequency sweep for this particular portion. Taking the mid frequency sweep and rolling it all the way back. Alright, so yeah, I think that's pretty good, man. I showed in the very first video that I could slap it ridiculously straight out of the box. So this would be a solo bass for me. I wouldn't be doing a whole bunch of slap stuff on this, but me doing chords and running songs and MDing would be the purpose of this bass for me right now in my skill level. Me slapping it, I'm not talented enough to get between the string spacing. That's just not me right now with this bass. So is it a good bass? Yes. Is it worth the buy? Yeah, it checks a lot of boxes. It is a little bit expensive depending on where you get it, but it's a nice bass and you can definitely do everything you need to do with this bass and not want to upgrade it too crazy. It does come with strap locks on it as a standard thing from the factory. It does come with its own gig bag, its own gigging case, so that's also nice. And it's smaller than a normal bass, so taking it on as a carry-on isn't really a problem. Only thing that I would give pause about is the fact that it costs as much as it does. So I probably wouldn't be taking this as a travel bass because it costs. It's nothing to sneeze at, okay? It's nothing to sneeze at. So yeah, so this has been my review of the Ibanez 1506MS. And I hope you dig it. Like, subscribe for more types of videos like this. I have a lot of videos that are coming out where I'm demoing new basses to the channel. Those are actually happening actively right now. I'm also doing bass giveaways open to my Patreon. You can check that in the description. And yeah, thank y'all for joining me. Till next time, I've been Alan Brown, aka Bully the Kid. Y'all be easy.